All right, so I'm looking at one other possibility that would be bearish. Obviously, if it invalidates here, the only other possibility is that this was indeed ABC right here. And then this is actually going to end up being WXY or ABC right here. So you just got to make sure. I think buying down here is definitely fine. You just got to make sure you have a stop below 237.84. And I would watch this right here also. The reason I'm bringing this up, the only reason I'm bringing this up actually, is because on the options chain, I'm seeing tons of sells here. I'm seeing tons of calls being sold. So let's just go from the very bottom. You have, well, they bought here. They bought like 4.5 million, but look at this. They sold 5 billion or 5 million. So like 7 million total, sold 5 million, then sold another 2 million, then sold 4.78 million, sold 4.28 million, sold 4.6 million, sold 10 million, sold 4 million, 1 million, 1 million, 4.7 million. So you can see here, these are all covered calls being sold. They're not doing anything. They're not buying puts. Actually, hold on. I don't have that on there. Yeah, they're not really buying puts for the most part. Except for something like right here. Most of it is selling covered calls, taking advantage of the high IV. So I want to look at any possibility of being wrong. And if this were the count, then that would make this an expanded flat. And then that would make this ABC like that. That would also make, instead of this being a wave, this would actually be a first wave. Could be like this, could be ABC down here. But one thing that I noticed is that this goes right to the gap fill at 228. So if this were to happen, let's just say this happens, because I'm always looking for ways to invalidate my counts. So I know, like, if I'm wrong, where it's probably going. And 228 would be where it's going. And that would be right before Robotaxi. So this would look, at that point, I would think that this would look like WXY. So W, X, Y. So it would turn into being a big move higher still, more than likely. This would retrace to about the 0.38 fib. So that would obviously invalidate it being a 5-wave move. I never thought this was a 5-wave move for the most part anyway. I always said it was looked corrective to me. This would mean we're going higher, up here to probably 290 gap fill at least. But it would just be a different way of getting there. And then afterwards, we would probably fall back down. So this would be pretty bullish overall, but it would mean that next week we actually come down here to 228. So I just wanted to show that even though I have the number one scenario is going up here to 258, if it does invalidate here, if it does fall through 238, then it's probably a WXY move down here. It could turn into being like something like that into Robotaxi. That would be WXY overall. So if it makes a 5-wave move down here, be careful. And it's still a buy down here. You gotta have your stop below 237.85 though. You're still risking the right amount because you're only risking like you're buying 241, 242, 243. You're only risking $5 to make 15 bucks. So still good risk reward, but if it does get below this, it's coming down here to 228. So I thought I'd make that video just to show you. Sometimes I look at when I'm wrong, where it'd go. So that's what I would think would happen. It would end up still coming up here to this area. It would just be a different way than everybody's expecting, including myself, because maybe this is a little bit too obvious. I don't know. So that's my thoughts. We'll see. It's going to come down to this move right here. Is this a first wave or is it an A wave? If it's an A wave, it goes right to the gap fill for a C wave. But if it's a 5-wave move, then it's probably going to go like this. Maybe slightly come down here, and then it's going to bounce back. And then it's going to come down one more time to 228. So I'm still going to be buying down here in anticipation of 258. But if it, I'll just have my stop below 237.82. So that's it. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, more updates. Catch you in the next video.